All right, Leftovers at Midnight, episode 14, with a brand new host, Tommy. Hello, Tommy.
Hey, everybody.
This is the host we talked about wanting to bring on. First person that came to Kyle's mind as well, just because the episode that you were on, we all had such a good energy, and it was arguably one of our best episodes that we've had so far.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad to be here. I have always wanted to be on a podcast, so all of my limited tech savvy aside, we figured out a way to get me on video again. So
yeah,
is this where we clap? Do we clap here?
A silent clap.
Cool.
Ooh, we could do.
Cool.
You know what we should do? Jazz hands.
Yeah, that way it doesn't bother anybody listening to it in the car. Well, with that being said, how is everybody doing?
Great, actually.
Good. Yeah.
Peachy fucking keen.
Peachy keen? Why not
I just ate a whole bunch of chicken.
Ooh,
Chimkin.
I had chicken when I got off work.
Yeah, Hannah started. For everybody who doesn't know who I am, Hannah's my fiance, and she started keto this week. So I've been trying to be as supportive as I can. I eat ramen noodles at work every day, but we've been cooking our meals, and it's saving us money. And I've been doing my best, but we got like this 5-ingredient keto cookbook, and you'd be surprised how many ways you can fuck up 5 ingredients.
Oh, I'm sure it's pretty easy. I can't do keto, but I got off work and immediately went to Publix and got Chick-fil-A sauce and chicken nuggets and fries, and that was my fucking dinner that I ate at 5:30, and then I woke up 3 minutes before we had to hop on a Discord call, so my eyes are just super itchy and my fucking head hurts and I'm tired, man.
Dude, I was supposed to go drop some stuff off at my parents' house tonight. I was going to go yesterday and they weren't home. So I was like, all right, I'll just come after work tomorrow. And so I get there and they're gone.
Oh, no.
And so I text my dad and I was like, hey, did you forget? And he was like, yep. They're at church. They're at youth group.
Oh.
And so I was like, all right, I guess I'll just leave it in the mailbox for you. Minutes out of my way on my way home to go take this stuff to
you
them.
Got
they
stood
home.
up by your parents.
Yikes.
So I didn't get home to start cooking dinner until 8.
And by cooking dinner, you mean fucking up those 5 ingredients?
The chicken was fine. The last thing I cooked, I tried to make these bacon sliders, like hamburger patties with bacon infused in them, and it was a valiant effort, and it was a good idea at the very least, but poorly executed. It was not a good experience. I apologized the next day. I was like, I'm sorry.
Sometimes it happens. As long as you season your food and don't give us white people a bad name. I've been watching a lot of Wild 'N Out on YouTube just because I've never seen the show, but it got recommended to me a super compilation. And I was like, damn, this show is fucking hilarious. They make fun of white people so much. I love it.
That's what happened to me with Smosh. Facebook just force-fed me Smosh Try Not to Laugh videos, and now it's I'm waiting for the next ones to come out.
I remember watching Ian and Anthony were the names, just Smosh skits on YouTube in 2014, 2006, shit like that.
I think Ian's the only one that is still on there from back in the day, but they have a whole crew now. A whole bunch of Smosh has become sort of an entertainment network. So they have all these different shows on there, but they do the Try Not to Laugh challenges with guests Rhett and Link or what's the guy's name? Zach. He plays Shazam, and I always forget his name.
Oh, Zachary Quinn. Not Zachary Quinton.
Oh man. You're thinking Zachary Quinto, which is not the guy. That's
No.
not
Yeah,
the
that's
guy. That was Spock in the newer
He
Star
played
Trek
Shazam
movies.
though,
He was
didn't he?
in Heroes.
shit, dude. I
World
knew
War
him
II.
as Sylar from Heroes.
Yes,
Yeah, Sylar.
Sylar from Heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I say, yeah, Zachary Quinto from Heroes, people are like,
The dude from American Horror Story too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that one guy.
Imp suit dad.
Zachary Levi.
Yep.
Yeah.
Zachary
Thank
Levi,
you,
yes.
Google.
He's hilarious. He
Yeah,
is
he
so
is.
freaking funny. He's one of the most wholesome actors like of our generation, I think, and I'm glad to be entertained by him.
Yeah, Shazam was a great movie. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh yeah.
I loved it. I can't wait for
I
the
love
second
that
one.
movie. I think my favorite part is where they're like up in the sky fighting each other and they're talking. It's like, what? I can't hear you.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things that like superhero movies as a whole have been doing within the last few years is like they refuse to let the bad guy monologue for too long. You
Yeah.
know? Like, that was something that, as a kid, you're like, "Oh, the bad guy's giving his speech." But as you get older and you're watching this bad guy just stand there for 15 minutes monologuing, it's like, he could have been doing something here, right? Like
Yeah.
throw a
Yeah.
rock, something. I don't know.
I
Don't let
like
him talk. He's
I
the
like how
bad
they break
guy.
that fourth wall and they
Right?
just like chime in like you can stop talking now or whatever the fuck they do in Marvel movies.
Yeah.
My favorite was The Incredibles with the villain. He's like, "Oh, now you got me monologuing."
Syndrome. Yep, exactly.
Syndrome.
That was
Yep.
like when I first noticed it, was going back and watching that movie again. And I was like, "He's right. They do it every time."
You got a good point, man.
Oh man.
Yo,
Syndrome had some good points.
did you guys see about that? Yeah, that stupid fucking bitch that put Gorilla Glue in her hair, like Gorilla Glue spray. I've been
let's-
waiting all week to talk about this shit just
Oh
because.
my god, dude. Did you watch the video of her like cutting her ponytail off?
No, but I
Mhm.
saw like her out of surgery, fucking surgery, like going, oh my god, I can feel my hair again. Oh, this is amazing. It's
Oh,
like,
I
bitch,
didn't
you
see
wouldn't
that.
have this stupid TMZ put it out. You wouldn't have this stupid fucking problem if your dumbass didn't put Gorilla Glue in your hair. Like, who the fuck? I don't care
I
how
would like to
how
speak to
coarse your
this
hair
lady's
is.
defense a little bit, because everybody's been saying that she's trying to sue Gorilla Glue over the fact that it doesn't say that she should put it on her hair. That is not true. She is not pursuing a lawsuit against Gorilla Glue, which
Yeah.
ultimately would be way funnier if she was. But I
Oh
would
yeah.
like to. She's valiantly owning the fact that she put Gorilla Glue, not even just like spray, like like a can of bug spray kind
Yeah.
of thing. It's an aerosol. The
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
stuff she used it looks like hairspray, but like it says permanent on the shit. Like,
Yeah.
how do you?
Where did you
Mhm.
read that though? Because Gorilla Glue put out a statement saying that they know she's like weighing her legal options or whatever.
So it was another article, the article that I read that had the video of her and her friend. Her friend was like sitting there with acetone trying to like cut her ponytail off. Later on in the article, it said, yeah, TMZ said that she's trying to sue them. And I think that's probably where Gorilla Glue ended up finding out that she was going to sue them, because according to this article that I read, she has not pursued legal action, but TMZ said that she would be.
TMZ
And
with the
that's just
fake news.
apparently is not the case. I may be proven wrong tomorrow morning. Who knows? But I just thought, like, all right, at least she's not pulling the old lady from McDonald's that spilled coffee all over her lap.
I was hoping one of you fuckers would say it. Totally different scenario.
I agree.
Totally different scenario.
I agree, because that lady was gravely injured.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Not
McDonald's
only
coffee
that,
lady.
not only that,
Yeah.
but she didn't want to sue them. That's the
Oh
whole
yeah.
thing that a lot
Yeah,
of people. That's the whole thing that people don't understand, is that she didn't even want to sue them. She just
Right.
wanted recovery from like the surgery that she had and lost wages from work.
Yeah,
So
which is
then,
understandable.
Then they told her, no, we're going to give you $800. And then she talked with her family and everybody. And then she was like, no, fuck you. Then she sued them.
Yeah.
Now,
But,
I am in no way in defense of McDonald's on that. Like, McDonald's
God,
can
no.
lose as much money as they want
That
to.
coffee was
Yeah.
too hot.
But conceptually, the outcome of that was lady spilled hot coffee on her legs. Now coffee cups have to say contents are hot. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
That part I get.
Yeah,
but like,
I mean,
is it going to come down to Gorilla Glue relabeling their shit and saying, "Don't use this on your hair" because of this
Don't be
one
a
incident?
dumbass.
I wonder if like when they removed it, they removed it all in like one piece, like a helmet. Like if they
Like
went
a
in
Lego
corners,
Like
helmet
a
there
with
Vader
with a
Lego hair.
situation.
scalpel and just cut underneath the glue, or if they had to cut it off in chunks. Because like if it was me and I sprayed Gorilla Glue in my hair, and they had to surgically remove my hair, I'd want it. Like I'd want to keep it and like put it on a stand
Oh yeah, for
and,
sure.
Get a mannequin
idle
and
to
frame
your
it.
own stupidity, you know.
I'm reading here that she raised $13,000 in a GoFundMe. Why did she have a
Really?
GoFundMe? Let's see. She
That's
set out
probably
to
why
raise
she
I mean,
did it.
potentially to
$1,500.
pay for the surgery.
The surgery was
Yeah.
free. She set out to raise $1,500 out by 9 a.m. Tuesday 9 a.m. Tuesday, she had raised more than $13,382 with donations from 776 people. The fundraiser started by Brown and a relative using a photo from her emergency or visit to the emergency room. Did not detail what she'd use for the cat or use the cash for. And then her allegedly planning to sue, and that she's reportedly getting free treatment from Beverly Hills plastic surgeon Dr. Michael Obeng to finally free her locks, and he's the guy who did all this shit on her hair.
I just
Huge
pulled
endorsement
up
for that
her.
guy. I mean,
Fuck yeah,
Right.
he should get the money, not
I
her.
mean, that's free advertisement
yeah.
right there.
I mean, like
Got yourself in a sticky situation? We'll fix it.
she might be
Fuck
looking
you.
to sue, but on the flip side, she may just be capitalizing on the fact that people feel bad for her for some stupid shit that she did.
Nobody feels
Which
bad for her.
either way,
Yeah.
like if she's suing or if she's just capitalizing on like that awe factor,
Yeah.
like what the fuck?
I mean, I feel bad for her, like, because it sucks. She probably didn't do it on purpose.
Oh yeah,
But
of
on
course
the
not.
other hand, who the fuck keeps aerosol adhesive next to your hairspray?
Well, I was under the understanding that she went and got it because she ran out of
Yep.
regular hairspray.
That's exactly what happened.
And so
Oh.
it wasn't like she accidentally picked it up instead of her normal hairspray. Like she ran
Yeah.
out of hairspray and went somewhere else in her home to get Gorilla Glue aerosol adhesive. And not only did she spray it, but she sprayed it on so thick that it couldn't move. Like the individual strands of hair were just fused together.
She sat there
permanently.
like shampooing it and nothing. Looked
Yeah.
like she was polishing a
Like
car
when I was
door.
watching the girl cut her ponytail off, like you gotta imagine if you spray your hair into a ponytail like that. I don't know if you guys have ever had that feeling of wearing a hat all day and your head hurts at the end of the day because you just
Yeah.
took your hat off. Yeah, imagine that pressure like super glued
tenfold.
to your scalp for
Yeah.
weeks.
No.
Like she's got to be having headaches like crazy.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
She
yeah.
probably can't sleep, dude. Like, I mean, that sucks, but I don't know. It's just like I said, either she's trying to sue them because she's dumb, or she did something dumb and again is capitalizing on the feelings of people who see her with this horrible thing that's happened to her so she can make some money. Now, who knows if that's really what's going on, but
I
I
mean,
hate that.
I have no sympathy for her. She could go bald for all I care. I really don't care. I mean, I hope she loses her hair for that stupid mistake, honestly.
She might. I mean, like from what I understand, like people were saying you should just let it grow out, and like that seems to be the logical situation. But when your hair is when it's choked out like that and there's no oxygen in there and your scalp is like fused to the surface of your hair, her hair follicles are probably screwed, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
On the flip side, like as a bonus, like no one could fault her for ever wearing a wig, which means she can have whatever hairstyle she wants every day.
You can rock an emo cut.
So, kind of nice little segue we got going over here. On the topic of hair disasters and shaving heads, I don't know if you guys know about the legal battle with Britney Spears and her father controlling her life.
I haven't watched the doc yet.
I
I
know
need to.
Brittany has been she's been under the microscope her entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read about that a while ago and I was like, no freaking wonder she had a nervous breakdown.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like she might actually finally get her father off of her
Good.
conservatorship. And
Good.
fucking finally, because she needs that shit. Back then we all used to make fun of her and oh haha, but no, now it's like, oh shit, there's actually a reason that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, and
Yep.
at this point we've all experienced trauma. So it's I've been in a few situations where I thought about having a complete and utter nervous breakdown and shaving my head. I get it. I get you, Brittany, and I'm sorry.
I can't do it.
You could grow hair just to shave it.
I don't think he
I
can.
haven't cut my hair in months.
Oh, so you're not one of those that just shave to shave. You just legitimately have a Louis C.K. hairline.
I'm bald, motherfucker. It's called male pattern baldness.
Feel bad for you. I'm never gonna go bald. My dad is over 70 years old and he still has a full head of hair.
And don't jinx
I've
yourself.
always,
man.
I've always said that if I
Balding does not
start
run
to
in my
seriously
family.
lose my hair, I'll probably just shave my head. My dad shaves
Yeah.
his head. He has since I was born. So I have a good idea of what my head would look like if I shaved it. And as long as I keep my beard, I won't look like, a creepy guy at CrossFit.
I'm I've met your dad and he rocks the shaved head look. So it's not.
I've never known him since I've been alive with hair. I've seen pictures of him from before I was born where he had he's in the military, so he had a flat top. And but ever since I've been alive and can remember, he's always had his head shaved.
Yeah.
I don't think that he's bald. He might be receding a little bit, but I'm pretty sure if he wanted to, he could just grow hair. He just doesn't.
Now, wait. I have a question. Robbie, did you actually think this was just a choice?
No, but I wasn't sure if maybe that your hair wasn't good in the middle and you just shaved it just because, or if you just legitimately couldn't grow hair there. I know some people who just shave where they can't grow hair, just
I got
to even it out.
little wispies you can see.
So Alex, why don't you just shave your head?
'Cause I look like a fucking Nazi.
That's a fair reason, I think.
I'm gonna show you guys a picture of what I look like with my shaved head.
Oh boy.
And we'll get some live reactions going here.
You're not saluting, are you?
No, I'm You're annoying.
Yeah, hell yeah. You don't have a 3080 or a 3090.
Oh, speaking of, while Alex is finding the picture, I have great news for Alex. You might be able to get something better than your current graphics card at a reasonable price. Yeah, NVIDIA actually announced that they were going to be changing some of the specs on their new cards. So it was previously announced that after the release of the 3070, the 3080, and the 3090, that they were going to do a 3080 Ti. But the 3090 has 24 gigabytes of VRAM. And whatever fucking CUDA cores. I don't fuck with NVIDIA, so I don't follow it that much. But the rumored 3080 Ti that they were going to release was supposed to have 20 gigabytes of VRAM, which obviously means a hell of a lot more in price. They've actually dropped the specs a little bit, so it's still going to be a GDDR6X card, but it's going to have 12 gigs of VRAM, which means we're probably looking at about a $1,400 to $1,500 price tag.
No, that's what the 3080 has now, or no, 10 has 10 currently.
Yeah.
So they're only adding 2 gigs of VRAM. It's not that much.
Yeah, but it's also a brand new card, and the market has a ridiculous shortage. You can't even find a Radeon card for less than $400 with 8 gigs of VRAM. Imagine a market getting a brand new card with better specs. It might be a $1,200 card for 5 minutes. That price is going to go up. But it is supposed to be releasing before the summer hits. So we're expecting some pretty good shortages really quick. But you might have a chance of upgrading your card for once. So
if someone wouldn't mind explaining to me, I know that there was a shortage in graphics cards back when crypto mining was like huge, like there was a big pop in it, and they were having to limit the amount of graphics cards that they sold to people because people were building these ridiculous mining rigs. Why is there still a shortage, and why is the market price still so high?
The trade bans have a
Yeah.
part to do with it.
There's trade bans, tariffs. There's COVID-19 in China, slowing down manufacturing. And then there's still people building insane fucking mining rigs.
Yeah.
So you have. Go ahead, Eric.
I was just going to say the other problem that you have to consider is that now people are a lot smarter because of the first graphic card shortage. So what people are doing is people are building bots and they're using AI and they're scripting to where when a marketplace, let's say Newegg. So what the bots do is the bots keep refreshing the pages in the background. Like they go to Newegg and they search in a 3090 card. It refreshes it every like 60 seconds or 30 seconds, whatever the interval is. And as soon as it sees that button that says add to cart, it adds it to the cart automatically and takes it immediately to checkout. And then the
so
bot
people are doing the
buys the
same
card
kind
from
of bot shit that they do with like Supreme and Palace drops.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which
I was going to say I knew that you would understand
unreliable.
that at some point. Yeah, it's bonkers.
It's so
man.
unreliable, which is crazy. Like how popular it is to use bots for that reason because it's so unreliable.
Yeah.
Like I caught some stuff at drop for Supreme organically, and I caught some stuff by using one of those bots. But the bot that I used got the wrong size and the wrong color. Like or like when you do it site wide for a drop like Supreme, it'll if you put in shirts, it'll pick whatever shirt it can get to first.
Yeah.
So like you have to be super hyper specific with it, and maybe that may just be a failing on my ability to run a bot properly, but it just seems really unreliable.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's people doing that for the resale as well. I mean, you got to imagine if the market's going to shoot up like that, people are going to try and cop them just to sell another one back to somebody after they bought it.
That's actually same issue
that's
with
another
the
reason.
cards.
Yeah, that's another reason why they're so hard to find is that anybody that's got one is selling it for more than you can find it on like Amazon or Newegg for. Like I think the 3090s are going for like 1,600, maybe 1,800.
Oh no, over 2,000.
Okay, yeah. So I
That's
mean,
unreal,
man. Yeah,
1,600 is like MSRP.
Yeah.
So I mean, are there games out there that can really max out that card? Like, is that maximum overkill? Or
no. So about the maximum that you're gonna see is 8 gigabytes of VRAM. So like a lot of the games that I play, Apex Legends is a fantastic example. So Apex has a setting within the like visual settings and all that where you can set the like streaming budget. So it's where you put basically a limiter on how much capacity it takes up. And they have different settings, 2 to 3 gigabytes, 4 to 6 gigabytes, and then 8 gigabytes and up. So something like Apex Legends, Call of Duty Warzone, games like that, it's not necessarily that it's like taking up that entire capacity. I mean, in some cases it does. It does take a majority of the capacity, but it also doesn't factor in like the speed of each card because a lot of cards now have 8 gigabytes of VRAM, but the clock speeds are a lot different on all of them. So, it can take up the capacity, but it depends on how efficient they are in handling that.
Yeah, if you got 100 feet and 100 pairs of shoes, then you set it to 100 pairs, but you don't know what size the shoes are.
Exactly. So, like the upgrade that I just did not too long ago is a fine example of that. The capacity in both cards was 8 gigabytes, but the difference is that the maximum speed that my old card could reach was 1100 megahertz, which is now the base speed of the card that I have now. And my card can now go up to 1600 megahertz. So it's a huge difference in like speed wise. But it might only be 1400. Sold it to the guy that bought the rest of my PC. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how quick these cards go because, I mean, with specs like that, they're great, but it's a card shortage, so people are gonna buy what they can, no matter what. I mean, 4 GB cards are now going for almost $500. Not that they're worth even half that. It's just because of the shortage. Like, you got to get something.
I wonder if graphics card companies are going to get to a point where, like, and probably not, because they're not really that focused on the user. They're focused on making money, just like any large company would be. But I
Yep.
wonder if they're going to get to a point where they just wait long enough to release their new card until they have so many of them that there couldn't be a possible shortage.
That's one of the things that's been in speculation with other companies. Radeon is also like building a new card currently that's going on the market, but I think that's the direction they're going to try to take it in. Not necessarily where they don't have to worry about a shortage, but they don't have to worry about it so quickly, because the 3000 series cards were out in what, like 2 weeks, something like that, like sold out completely, gone. And that's what started all of this like shortage issue, because with the mining thing, it was like, they had to limit the cards. But now there's not so much of a limit as to like how many people can buy. It's more they can't make them fast enough. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying.
yeah,
And
so
I mean, it's there's at least two factors to well, three, I guess. So there is the inherent need of PC users to upgrade their setup.
mm-hmm.
I feel that on an emotional level because I am an upgrades guy.
Yep.
With my printer, like if I got a new 3D printer today, the first thing I would do is look up what upgrades I could print out and add to it and what I could make better on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. There is the greed of the people who are using these bots to buy the cards so they can resell them,
Yep.
and the only other blame can be placed on the companies producing these graphics cards because they are not, like I said, they're not focused on the consumer. They're focused on making as much money as they can. So as long as they make their money on the run of cards that
Yep.
they've done, they've paid for the production. It's not like they can't afford to produce more, right? If they're
Mm-hmm.
selling out every single time, they have to be able to afford to
Yep.
produce more. I mean, with
Yep.
COVID, it makes sense in some situations that there are shortages of labor, I guess. But like, it's not like a situation like back when the RAM fires happened, where like all
Yeah.
the material that is used to create RAM just fucking burned up in a
I
tragic accident.
remember that.
Yep.
You know,
Damn, I forgot
did
about
we
that.
ever figure that shit out, or are we still in
Who
a
knows?
huge spike of RAM prices because of that fire?
Actually, RAM prices have gone down tremendously. Like,
Yeah, they're
here is a prime
reasonable.
example. Yeah, here's a prime example. So the RAM that I use in my computer, for this new build, I actually got a brand new set, but it's the exact same model, speed, and like it's an identical purchase that I made 2 years ago when I built the PC that I had. So it's just 16 gigabytes of RAM, but I bought it brand new. I think it might have been 2018 at this point. I think it was. So I bought it in 2018 for $192, which at the time was fair. I mean, I didn't really know about a lot about building, but it was a fair price. I bought that exact same set on Amazon when I just did this new build like a couple of months ago for $85.
So you mean to tell
It's
me that in 2018, the last time you upgraded and you didn't have that much expertise in building, that was a year after you helped me build my PC?
Yep. I so for everybody that doesn't know, I wasn't a PC kid. I was a Nintendo kid, and I played Guitar Hero on PlayStation. But I was a Nintendo kid. I didn't grow up having a PC. My dad only uses his computer for graphic design, so I didn't have any of the gaming shit until much later. I got my very first gaming PC in 2017 with very old parts that my friends just kind of had laying around. And when I bought that graphics card, the one that I actually sold, when I bought that graphics card, it was during the mining shortage. So
Oh yeah,
I paid.
I lucked out because of May the
Mhm.
5th. Like,
Yep. That card was probably worth about like 4-ish. I think I paid about $450 for it, somewhere around that time frame. The problem is that card is still listed at the same price. So, but yeah, I didn't learn about PC stuff until much later than when I built my first PC. Like when I had my first build done,
I'm just now finding out that the machine I'm currently podcasting from was built on roughly 4 months of experience.
Yep.
Give or take. Yeah.
Yeah, we built my computer in May of 2017.
You want me to double check that for you, bud?
Yeah, well, it's been flickering. It's been doing this weird thing. No, that was actually something that happened, but I fixed. I think there was just some dust in my power button because it was like the light was flickering. But
yeah, so yeah, when I helped Tommy build his PC, I really didn't have a lot of experience. I just knew that a couple of parts went in specific places, and I was like, "Yeah, dude, I got you. No worries."
I watched.
But you can't tell me that thing didn't fire up.
I haven't done anything to it since then, and it I've cleaned it, and that is about all I've done.
More than I've done.
And the way that I learned about PC stuff was just being around people that knew about PC stuff. Like I didn't really do a lot of research until a couple of years later did I actually like dive into everything. And even now, Alex will table dick the fuck out of me, and so will Robbie with literally anything that has to do with PCs. I mean, I know a fair amount now, but I can get outfucked by either of these two because they've been around it much longer. I just happen to know the easy explanation for everything. Like, if I can explain it to my grandfather or like one of my younger nieces, anybody can learn it. So, and you can too. And this is where I would put the sponsored segment if we had a sponsor, but you know.
This video is not sponsored by Dollar Shave Club.
Sponsored by water bottle with no label.
That does not look like water, Alex. Looks like fucking Mott's apple juice or like applesauce.
That looks like apple juice, bro.
Sponsored by G Fuel.
Like
Yo, if it
looks like Dip Spit. Jesus Christ, dude! If it's a G Fuel spot,
would you say it looks like
Dip Spit?
Yes, it does. That's a perfect example.
It 100% looks like Dip Spit.
It's tea and lemonade.
So it's an Arnold Palmer.
Any of you guys ever accidentally take a sip of somebody's Dip Spit?
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst thing. Eric knows what I'm talking about.
It wasn't accidental for Eric. We know this.
No, it wasn't actually. I was curious.
And then the realization suddenly that you've just ingested somebody's saliva hits right after you feel that burn, and you realize that was not my fear.
I projectile vomited because I was a curious child, and it didn't work out.
Okay, I'm glad this happened to you when you were young as well, because for me it was a Gatorade bottle that I thought was Gatorade.
It was last
week. I went to take a sip out of it, and it was Dip Spit. And like, I don't know who leaves an almost full bottle of Dip Spit capped next to the rest of the Gatorade, but
it's a prank,
like
bro.
that. Yeah. But
speaking of mining and like the whole crypto thing, did you guys see like Elon Musk was tweeting a lot about Dogecoin?
Yes.
It shot up to like 0.08 cents or something like that, or like 0.08. Now it's only down to like 0.06. I don't know if my phone will pick it up, but there was a significant drop in Dogecoin recently. I'm still up over $100. So like what I've noticed is whenever there's a huge spike in Doge or any crypto in general, whatever the average is for that spike is what it's going to stay at until there's another spike. So my thoughts, by the end of this year, Dogecoin will be over $1. And that'll be a nice chunk of money for me and everybody else who put fucking hundreds of dollars or maybe even $10 into Dogecoin and got
everybody but me.
Thousands.
I've been waiting for weeks to get verified by a freaking crypto wallet to be able to even buy Dogecoin, and like nothing is happening. I signed up today with
Gemini.
Yeah, Robbie was there.
Yeah,
he was paying attention. I signed up today with Gemini, and I'm still waiting for them to verify my address so that I can transfer the Bitcoin I have on Binance that I got on Coinbase initially. Went to Binance to try and be able to buy Dogecoin 2 weeks ago. They're still verifying my address. So I was like, screw it. I'm just going to move my Bitcoin somewhere else I can buy Doge. And that still didn't work.
Dogecoin to the moon, baby.
I feel like I'm just not going to get in on this train. I'm not destined to own copious amounts of cryptocurrency, just like all my friends have.
I invested in, what the hell was it? Nicola?
Yeah.
Like
6
months ago.
You got screwed.
Nicola.
Not necessarily. Oh, sorry, Alex. Nicola.
Nikola Tesla.
I feel a Trump coming. I feel a Trump coming on. Anyways, so I invested like $60 into it, whatever it was, and then I made like 100 and something, and I dipped out. I also invested in Kodak, which that was a complete fucking flop. But I did make
doing
a little
lot with 3D printing these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're
but
doing
I
crazy shit.
Yeah, but I invested a little bit into both, and I made my money, and I pulled out. Like once that was done, I was like, all right, I'm done fucking with investing. Like, and what's hilarious is that I've gotten like multiple invitations from multiple friends, like, hey, come join Robinhood, come join Coinbase, come do this, come do that. Like, nah, dude, I'm already out of it. I made my money. I was risky enough. Like, I'm good. Plus, I'm not in a situation to invest, so like, I'm good, bro. That said, though, I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious that Elon. Someone's gonna correct me on this. Elon invested like $1.5 million into Bitcoin, or some fucking crazy amount. I'm gonna see if I can pull up.
Was it 1.6 billion or million? I think it was million.
I don't remember
billion.
what. No. It was. I think it was billion. I think it was. It's a fucking crazy amount. Okay, but Elon Musk is the Webster definition of money at this point.
Daddy Elon.
So like he could wipe his ass with Benjamin Franklin's skull and would not give a fuck.
No.
Is he over the trillionaire mark at this point?
He's got to be. He's got to be.
No.
I don't think so.
No, because I read somewhere that if you worked out the math and spent $1 million every day since the day that we've calculated, hypothetically, that Jesus died, right? If you spent $1 million a day since then, you would not hit $1 trillion.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
No,
which is fucking bonkers.
Put it in perspective to me. At the time, it was in reference to our national debt.
Yeah.
Where we were like $17 trillion in debt. And it's like, if you spent $1 million a day for 2,000 years, you wouldn't get to $1 trillion.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he invested like a stupid amount into Bitcoin. And I was like, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, whether he loses or like, if he loses that money, he's not going to give a shit.
Not going to matter.
Like, no, that's not going to fucking matter to him. But if he wins money out of it, that means everybody wins. Like,
this is true.
Just
because I mean, if it spikes that much, I think Bitcoin's at what, like 16,000, 24,000, something like that. It's a crazy amount for one Bitcoin. But Cash App has been doing 47. This thing where you can. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. It's like crazy high.
Yeah.
But for anybody that uses Cash App, they're doing these like weekly things where typically they have like card boosters where sometimes you can get discounts on purchases or whatever. But they have boosters recently where like every 3 purchases, you get 10% of like a Bitcoin or whatever the fuck it is. Like you get a percentage of Bitcoin based on your purchases. Like it doesn't matter where it's from. It's not, I mean, speaking of free money, I wish it was sponsored, but no. I noticed it the other day and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So it made me think about that. But yeah, so if anybody's interested in crypto, that's kind of where it's at.
Dogecoin to
the moon, you want to talk about podcast sponsors? There are 3 podcast sponsors, and this you cannot convince me otherwise. There is Nectar Sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is HelloFresh, and there is what's the name of it? The Talk Therapy app.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are the only 3 podcast sponsors. If you're sponsored on your podcast, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Depends on what kind of podcast you are.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I listen to a lot of different podcasts, and almost all of them are sponsored by Nectar Sleep. So like, you got to imagine either Nectar Sleep is doing really, really well, or really, really
Really
bad.
And Dollar Shave
They're
Club.
getting all their money away in
Wait, Dollar
podcast
Shave
sponsors.
Club, Jesus Christ.
And Postmates and Blue Chew
And Honey.
and Honey. Yep.
Oh man, fuck
Honey sponsors everybody.
I love Honey.
I
do too.
downloaded Honey, and it has not saved me a single penny.
You're not using the
it
correct
saved me a lot of
website.
It's
money.
actually saved me a lot.
Me too.
Like, it's
maybe
crazy.
it's not using it right, but
Yeah.
People probably think we're like sponsoring them right now.
Yeah, no.
Oh, no.
I think I checked it the other day. I think I've been an account member on Honey since like I got my computer. Like I got the
that time for
computer,
me.
set up an account because I did a lot of online shopping, and yeah,
No free advertisements. Who are we talking about? Doesn't matter. No free advertisements.
no, they suck. I'm telling you, fucking they suck.
They suck
unless
until they pay
want-
us. Fuck you, Honey.
Yeah, that's fair.
Speaking
of
Oh,
rock, paper, scissors.
you go ahead, Robbie.
Okay.
You go ahead. I've been talking enough for a little
I was
bit.
gonna say, speaking of advertisements, you guys see there was a Reddit commercial during the Super Bowl?
Yep,
What the?
it was like a 5-second
Holy
commercial,
shit.
right?
Yeah, they paid for like an ad spot just to be like, hey,
Yeah.
go to Reddit. Like,
Yeah.
who doesn't already do that?
I'm trying to find out exactly where it was.
Like, I didn't see it on TV. I saw it afterwards.
Yep.
But did anybody
I
watch
just-
the actual game?
I didn't, but I just found the text post, and I can read it for you if you guys want.
yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like a post from Reddit. It's got the orange and white background and everything. It's fucking great. So it says, wow, this actually worked. If you're reading this, it means our bet paid off. Big game spots are expensive, so we couldn't buy a full one, but we were inspired and decided to spend our entire marketing budget on 5 seconds of airtime. One thing we learned from our community last week is that underdogs can accomplish just about anything when they come together around a common idea. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the reason finance textbooks have to add a chapter on tendies. Maybe you'll help r/Super Bowl or Superb Owl teach the world about the majesty of owls. Maybe you'll even pause this 5-second ad. Powerful things happen when people rally around something they really care about. And there's a place for that. It's called Reddit. Like,
Dang, what a perfectly written ad.
Yeah.
That's pretty
right?
cool.
And it was
Huge
5 seconds,
gamble.
and that was it.
Huge gamble, but what a perfectly written ad.
Yep.
I mean,
I thought it was cool.
typically I watch the game for the commercials, or I just watch the commercials on YouTube. But because my home team was in the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl was being played fucking 25 minutes down the road from me, I was like, you know what? I guess I'll watch the whole thing. And when they did the flyover, they went right over my house. And if you don't know what the flyover is, for those of you who don't know sports ball, they have like a stealth bomber and like 2 other planes. I think one of them's like a fighter jet or something, and they quite literally just fly over. Funny story about that. They practiced that Thursday before Super Bowl Sunday, and they flew right over our house. Well, we didn't know they were coming over our house. And my dad's out back, looks up and just sees a stealth bomber coming towards our house. From what he said, he's like, man, if I didn't know the Super Bowl was happening on Sunday, I would have thought I was about to get bombed, because those things are badass looking, but it's scary as shit.
Red Dawn, Wolverines.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it was cool to see those kinds of planes in person. I
Actually, kind of.
I have a friend who was an old coworker who was in the Air Force, and I texted him. I was like, dude, planes are super fucking... Bryce. Well, I was like, planes are super fucking cool, dude. He's like, yeah, they are. I was like, that was
I've been
fucking
trying
awesome.
to tell you that for years.
Yeah, but like, until you actually hear it and see it in person, you're just like, oh, it's a plane. But it's like, whoa, that kind of scary, honestly, because it's a fucking stealth bomber that can just... and you're dead.
Yeah.
And they're loud. They're really fucking loud. God damn.
Speaking of the Super Bowl, did you guys see the shit with Tom Brady and the
Superb
Lombardi
owl.
Trophy recently?
Yeah, where he's fucking
where
throwing
he
it.
dented it.
That man gives no fucks.
No, he didn't dent it. Someone else did that. Tom Brady was drunk as fuck with him and the rest of the team on the Hillsborough River, and they're fucking throwing the Lombardi Trophy over the water between boats.
Jesus Christ.
He doesn't give a flying fuck.
That's
That's
wonderful.
what 7 rings will do you.
That screenshot from an interview with Tom Brady with the "Make America Great Again" hat in the background.
Yeah.
That's from like years ago, isn't it?
And the back
like,
of his helmet says "End Racism," and people are getting butthurt about it. Like that, those don't correlate though. Not every Trump supporter is racist.
I mean, I know we don't tend to talk politics generally, and I can say with confidence that I feel like we're probably of the same mind politically.
Mm-hmm.
But like what amazed me about it was the depths that people are willing to go to like flame somebody.
Yeah.
Like they went back. I want to say it was like 2015. Like from the first time that Donald Trump was running, he had that hat in his locker, and they went back to post that now that he's in the Super Bowl 5 years later. Like
what are we gonna do? Cancel him because he liked Donald Trump? Who cares? There's people in my personal life that support Donald Trump that aren't racist at all. You know?
Yeah.
Well, it's not even just that, but like there have been 5 years in between there that you could have flamed him for that and you
Yeah.
didn't. Like I didn't see that
Yep.
image until this week, and then
Me
I
too.
found out it was super old, and I was like, why hasn't somebody posted this before? If everybody has a problem with it,
Yeah,
you
because
know?
Donald Trump's under a lot of pressure, like usual, and he's in a lot of hot water, like usual. No,
Well, yeah.
you're all wrong. I'm right. Type shit.
Well,
We
I
did
mean, he's not the president now, so I mean, either way, he can get fucked. But
I mean,
did see this
I don't think Milena will
vote,
fuck him.
the vote on whether his impeachment was constitutional was deemed constitutional, so they're going to actually move forward with the trial.
yeah,
They've
Good.
been presenting some pretty strong argument
Did you guys see
for
any of it on TV?
impeachment.
They're airing it uncensored on TV, so all the videos and everything you hear completely uncensored from the riot at the Capitol, and you hear like, "Where the fuck is that bitch?" and people like running through the halls. I'm like, this is on TV, damn. Like you'd expect, oh, sorry
Yep.
for the language, but like, I guess fair warning. It says like uncensored at the top, and like they're airing it exactly how it is, so it's just as transparent as possible, which I respect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck
I
your
mean,
That's what
feelings.
they should do.
it seems like a pretty big leap to go ahead and just put uncensored content out on the air, but if they
But
didn't,
it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a huge deal.
yeah, but if they put it out there uncensored, like the people would cry censorship. You
Yeah.
know, like that they would accuse whoever was reporting it of, manipulating it. And that's just kind of where we're at as
Yep.
a society, is that everybody's paranoid about everything.
Yeah, I saw something where it was like, Osama didn't fly the planes in 9/11, but he was guilty, and like so on and so forth, like Hitler and Kim Jong Un and a bunch of other people. And it's like, you got a point, but that's a little extreme.
Yeah. But at the same time, like as fucked up as it is,
Yeah,
it's a valid point. Like
it's valid.
they
Yeah, and
didn't-
that's what's sad.
Yeah, that's the worst part about it, is that they're totally different extremes, but you make a good point.
Yeah, I saw a post a long time ago. I don't know if it's true or not. I think it was in Time magazine. But Donald Trump was quoted a long time ago saying, "If I ever run for president, all of the Republicans will be stupid enough to vote for me." And
Yep.
Yeah, it was in like the 90s, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
What, Tommy?
Yeah.
Back when he could still speak within sentences.
Yeah. Not
Did you guys ever see the Comedy Central roast of Donald Trump?
No.
Mhm.
What?
That
What?
shit,
You have?
Yeah.
Oh,
I might have seen it. I don't
dude.
remember.
the
Dude.
panel is fantastic.
Snoop Dogg
Oh,
on
yeah.
it?
I'm pretty sure that I know Snoop Dogg was on it.
I think I've seen it.
We bought all of the Comedy Central roasts that have ever come out on YouTube. So we were watching the roast of Justin Bieber the other day. That
That's a
was
good one.
brutal.
I like that.
Oh yeah, but it was great.
We watched the roast of James Franco, and during that roast, I realized that I trust James Franco, but I don't trust people who look like James Franco.
Good
Has a
point.
face that I feel I can trust, but if I ever met somebody who looked sort of like James Franco, they
Can't trust him. Yeah, they're invalid.
I don't trust Dave Franco because he looks kind of like James Franco.
Oh yeah, he looks sketchy as fuck. Like that's just the type of look that he has.
Yeah. Did you guys see the Snyder Cut photos with Jared Leto's Joker?
I
Oh
did.
my
You
god.
mentioned it to me the other day, and I looked it up, and I was like, "Damn, okay."
So on the last episode, we kind of mentioned Jokers, and Alex brought up Jared Leto, and I said we don't talk about Jared Leto. Let me retract on that because his Joker is by far the worst Joker ever portrayed. If you disagree with me, fuck off. His Joker was just terrible, and everything about it sucked fucking ass. But the fact that the cringy ass damaged tattoo he has right here isn't in the photo gives me hope that maybe the Snyder cut will give you a new look on Joker, because I don't think he was in the Snyder cut of Justice League at all. Maybe for a couple seconds, but I don't remember seeing him at all in there. He was in Suicide Squad, and it was shit.
For like 10 seconds.
Yeah. And apparently, from the interviews I've read, Jared Leto's Joker was a lot better than that, according to him. But the director made the decision, and I guess the editors, to completely remove like 90% of his acting from that. And we're all judging his.
What? Of that movie, I feel like that was fair. Like as bad as the Joker was in Suicide Squad, like I fully agree with you that it was the worst Joker ever portrayed. 100%. I don't really like Jared Leto in general. I think he's a prick. If Jared Leto, if you watch this, you're a prick. But
I can get him to watch it.
I feel like making that decision to cut out the best parts of Jared Leto's Joker served the story of Suicide Squad by not making it another story about the Joker.
Yeah, now, it should just been gone completely.
Yeah, if Jared's playing the Joker again, now he has to live up to Joaquin.
Yes,
which that's tough. Like, you know,
see, we had this discussion last week too, and I still disagree with that.
You don't think Joaquin was good?
No. I think that the character that Joaquin played was phenomenal. I thought the movie was amazing. I would more than happy watch that movie again. But Joaquin Phoenix's character is not Joker. It is the person becoming the Joker, but it's not Joker. That was, and that's the argument that I had, and that's what I'm going to stand by. And the only reason I say that is because everyone is used to the same thing, and I'm in this perspective. When I think of the Joker, I think of fucking white face, green suit, you know, all the fucking wacky comments.
Yeah.
Like that's the Joker that I'm used to seeing. Like Mark Hamill. Like that's the type of Joker that I think of, not some dude who is mentally ill and goes apeshit and kills a freaking show host. Like that's not who I think of. Like I get it, and again, I thought it was great, but like I think Jared Leto has to hold up to the standards of becoming a better Heath Ledger Joker, or like one of the old school Jokers. Like that's the thought that I have.
I hate that Heath Ledger is the standard.
I loved Heath Ledger's Joker. I loved it. I thought it was phenomenal. But when I think of Joker, even barring Mark Hamill, which you never bar Mark Hamill, he's just going to be that guy.
Mark.
He's the bar.
Joker, and this may just be because of when I grew up, and I think Robbie might feel this way as well. I think of Jack Nicholson when I think of Joker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only because my first exposure to Batman was the 1980 Batman with Michael Keaton. You know, so I think of like that energy, and then discovering the universe of Jokers surrounding that just continued to get better as time went on. Like that was pleasant. But like Heath Ledger's Joker doesn't fit that box in any way. Like even even in the comic book depictions of the Joker, like Heath Ledger's Joker was way just a different kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like he's a fucking kooky kind of Joker.
I think it was a magnificent interpretation of the type of that archetype of diabolically intelligent but also mentally ill. But it's not that Mark Hamill. It's not,
and that's what I mean.
comical.
It's not like the animated Joker. Like personally, I think of animated Joker. Like Heath Ledger's Joker was probably one of my favorites, like live action wise. But for a Joker standard, it's only what I've seen Mark Hamill voice.
The laugh has to be there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Jared Leto doesn't have that.
Jared Leto's laugh was the worst part of his Joker.
Was it just like a you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just like a
What? And then there's Jared Leto that goes
like he had fallen off of a hover round in the Walmart. Like
yeah.
Yeah. And again, we can go back to Mark Hamill, best Joker laugh.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And then you take Heath Ledger, who interpreted that character so differently. Like he was. That's what it is. It's not comical. Like the Joker is a comical character. If you take anything he ever does out of context, it is for the sake of a laugh, right? And that's not what we saw
Heath Ledger's
with Joaquin. That's not what we saw with Heath Ledger. That's not what we saw. I mean, we saw in that sense, we saw more of that with Jared Leto than we did with either of the other two.
Yeah.
But it's so poorly written that it ruined it. And the physical portrayal, like the SoundCloud rapper aesthetic that they gave him was just
which was
garbage. Another movie with Leto in it recently is called It's the Little Things with Denzel Washington and Rami Malek.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, I just saw that a few nights ago.
Yeah, so you'll probably understand what I mean where I say that movie was phenomenal until the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. The ending was so abrupt, and you're just
it left so many loose ends to tie up that are like the type of thing that you don't want to leave up to the interpretation of the viewer. Like definitive questions that need to be answered to satisfy the context of the ending. You know,
like it like the movie itself in a way kind of reminded me of No Country for Old Men, especially how the ending just kind of is abrupt. But like No Country for Old Men just did it so well compared to that movie.
It's the little things. I think Leto's character in that movie was one of the best parts of that movie.
That was really good, yeah.
And part of it I feel like part of it has to be noted that it's partly because he is completely unrecognizable as that character. Like
he looked like
knowing it was Jared Leto going into the movie. I don't know if I would have picked up on it right away at all.
That was like his version of Christian Bale in The Machinist.
Yeah,
just completely
or like
emaciated.
In was it Dallas Buyers Club?
Yeah,
where he got super skinny and like looked like a completely different person.
Yeah,
Christian Bale's the best Batman.
And see, I agree with that.
Yes, even though he had the voice, he's still the best Batman.
Although I do have to admit, you can hate me as much as you want.
Okay,
I fucking loved George Clooney's Batman.
As long as you don't say Ben Affleck.
Loved it. I will die on that hill. I don't care who disagrees with me. I fucking loved George Clooney's Batman. He had the Bat card, for God's sake. Like, come on. That's just goofy as fuck. I love it.
Up until Ben Affleck, I would have said I think Val Kilmer was the worst Batman.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm actually surprisingly excited for Robert Pattinson.
Oh, dude, 100%.
Oh.
People are going ape shit about the fact that he was in Twilight, right? Okay, that was 12, 13 years ago. But have you seen The Lighthouse?
Yeah, exactly.
He's a great actor.
Have you seen what is it called? The High Life, where he's in space?
I haven't seen that one.
No, but I heard about that one.
It's insane. And Robert Pattinson glues into characters, dude. Like, the character he played in The Lighthouse was insane. Just absolutely freaking insane. The accent, Robbie, have you seen it? Am I spoiling this for you right now?
I haven't seen it. No.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
I will.
it's still a pretty new movie.
Right off the bat, tell you it is the weirdest movie I've ever watched.
All right.
It is the weirdest movie, like in a really good way. But there's some weird shit that happens in that movie. Second, I think only to. Have you guys seen The Witch?
No.
The Witch was good. I still think The Lobster.
I hated The Witch, and it's partly just because I couldn't fucking understand anything that they said in that movie because of the dialect choice that they used for it.
Yeah.
You mean the V-Vitch, right?
No. I'm talking about like the old timey like Bible speak that they used
Yeah.
in that movie didn't seem like it didn't feel like time period appropriate. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It just was. It felt wrong, and like I feel like nothing happens in that movie. Now, Hannah loves that movie. Hannah wants to watch that movie any chance that we have the opportunity. But like that movie, just nothing happens in it, just except the entire family dies.
What movie?
You know, I don't know. That movie did not do it for me. But The Lighthouse was like
High Life.
I almost left the movie. Like I almost walked away from watching it because I was
Jesus.
like, this is too weird. And I'm
Wow.
glad I stuck through it because the ending of that movie was magnificent. But yeah, Robert Pattinson. I'm super stoked for Robert Pattinson to play Batman because I
Me
think
too.
he's gonna absolutely kill it.
He's gonna nail that fucking role.
Oh yeah.
They get the vampire boy to play a bat. Like, come on, really?
So who was you guys' pick for who would play Batman Beyond?
Oh, dude, I had this shit nailed down a couple months ago.
If not for the fact that he plays Spider-Man, I would say Tom Holland.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you guys a controversial one here.
Okay.
But
I don't know. It
I
can't be as controversial as mine.
I want like late 90s Fight Club Brad Pitt as Batman.
Yeah, all right. Okay. I could see that.
Don't
Gotta
know
get
why.
that.
It just popped in my head and I'm like, I could see it. It would work.
I want Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Sorry.
I wish
No,
that
he's
Joe
Robin.
was young
No.
enough to
Robin.
play that part.
No. You know why I say he's not Robin? Because they had the perfect opportunity to make fucking Teen Titans or fucking any of the other movies like after that like timeline. They had the perfect opportunity and they fucking ripped it from him. So that's why I
You're
think he
talking
needs to be
cinematic universe like they've ever made a good decision on how to release a movie.
that's what I'm getting at. They fucking ripped it from him. And that's
during
why
the
I
time
think
of Christopher Nolan's Batman movies, we got Batman Beyond with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yes, absolutely. Now,
100%.
later, no.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can't
I mean,
have
if
a guy
it,
in his 30s playing Batman
yeah,
Beyond. Like,
no,
You know what we do need?
no,
We
What
need a
about you, Rob?
Batgirl movie.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we had to pick a new actor, I cannot remember his name for the life of me.
I can't remember who I want to play Bruce Wayne. He was a fucking Batman. It's like right on the tip of my tongue.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. Yes.
Mhm.
I want him to play Bruce Wayne.
I would want
in Batman Beyond for sure.
Yeah, I would want the kid that played Bruce Wayne in Gotham. I would want him to play Batman Beyond. I cannot remember his name for the life of me. Bruce Wayne. Who is it? What the hell is his name?
You know
Come
who
on,
else I
Google,
could
work with me a little bit. David Mazouz is who here. I'll put a picture of him in chat for you guys. But this kid played Bruce in Gotham, and it was phenomenal.
Holy shit, I just now saw the picture of Alex with his head shaved.
So did I.
I think you look great, bro. I think you look great.
I like it.
Yeah, but you guys know me. That's the thing. Is you guys know me. If you saw me in the street as a stranger,
I would trust you to hold my puppy.
I wouldn't. I'd run away with my puppy.
I mean, if you were making that face, I probably wouldn't, but like, it's a good look, dude. Solid.
Yeah, I feel like that look could be either endearing or intimidating, just depending on like the position of your eyebrow.
Yeah, exactly. But the
But
picture I just put
I
in
don't know
chat.
about this guy. This kid looks
Yeah.
like way too broody, dude. Like Batman
If
Beyond
you,
was much more of a Spider-Man personality.
yeah, I kind of get it. But
But it was very much a much more playful take.
Yeah, but I mean, this is him becoming Batman. Like that's the character that he portrays. But earlier in the series, you can see that he's got like that kind of uppity step to him, and I think it would be a good role. Also connecting like a Gotham actor to a DC movie, like I don't know. I think that would fit.
I'm all about that.
You saying brooding just triggered something in my head, and I've made a change in my choice.
Oh no. Who is it?
It's Will Arnett. He played Batman in the Lego movie.
Oh my god, bro.
Okay.
Will Arnett like could actually be Batman in a live action. It would be fantastic.
Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy would be too perfect. There's no way they'd be able to get him.
He was on, spoiler alert, he was on the Flash crossover.
Yeah. Flashpoint.
Yeah.
I think. Was it Flashpoint? Yeah.
One of them.
Yeah.
No, which was Infinite Earths.
I can definitely see the guy who plays Barry Allen playing Batman Beyond.
Also Grant Gust. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He should be playing Barry Allen in the movies, not Ezra Miller, that piece of shit.
Wait, what's wrong with Ezra Miller?
Ezra Miller is kind of a dickhead, dude.
Yeah.
You should just look into it.
Okay.
He like hits his fans.
Like, so you saw the video too.
Yeah, never mind. He's canceled.
I heard that was fake, but I also heard it wasn't, so I don't know.
I've heard other accounts of
I'm choosing not to like him.
Which really ruined his character in Perks of Being a Wallflower for me, because I stood that guy.
Yeah.
But Logan Lerman, I think, could play it. I feel like Logan Lerman deserves another chance at a good role as a hero that wasn't Percy Jackson and the Olympians, because that is a book series that I loved that they really just tore from me with.
They fucked it. They
they screwed up with the movies was Aragon.
Oh my god, why'd you have to remind? Now I'm sad.
Because I'm still waiting on Netflix to like wise up and do an Aragon series.
That would be fantastic.
You could have played
so much money.
100%.
Yep.
I got
Robbie,
my
quick note.
Sorry.
Speaking of which, quick note for you, Robbie. Grant Gustin is having their baby. Him and his wife are having a baby now.
Nice.
They just announced it today.
Then Flash.
So.
Taylor Lautner for Terry. Think about it. He fucking looks like her.
I am thinking about it. I am.
I don't like it.
He's not a horrible actor.
No, he's not.
Actor.
I think he's a good actor.
Yes,
but
for sure.
I wouldn't put in that role. No.
Oh, dude, I think
Taylor
he'd be
Lautner
perfect
for
in
who?
It. Terry McGinnis. Batman Beyond.
Oh, who's that other dude? Robbie Amell.
Oh, Stephen Amell's cousin, Robbie Amell. Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Hot take, Jeff Goldblum.
Hot take, no. Dinosaurs.
Hot take, Danny DeVito. Playing the Penguin.
Louis C.K.
Again. Yeah, exactly.
Who would you want to see as the Joker? I already know. I want to see Mark Hamill live action Joker.
I want to see.
I gotta disagree with the Mark Hamill one.
I can't see it. I think he's too old and.
No. It's not even that. It's not even that.
Play Joker at this point, like especially if you watch that series that he did What was it? Kidding. Well, the one where he plays like the host of a television, like a kid's television show, but he's severely depressed.
Who are you talking about?
Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah, he'd be a good one.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like they gave Jim Carrey the Riddler role when Jim Carrey was at the height of playing Jim Carrey as a character. You know, like Ace Ventura and
The Mask.
The Mask, yeah. But what else was there
Great
that I'm
movie.
thinking? The Cable Guy, like that.
Wow, that's a
he
good
was
movie. I
playing,
forgot about that.
you know. But I want to see the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind Jim Carrey as an old
Yeah.
depressed playing the Joker. I think that would be awesome.
That could work.
Yeah, the only reason I have to disagree with Mark Hamill is because of just the fucking way that they butchered him in the Arrowverse. Oh man, they fucked him over so bad.
He was in Arrowverse.
Yeah, he's in the Arrowverse. So for those that kind of watch The Flash
That's
or are at least familiar
right.
with it, yep. So
Toyman. No, not Toyman.
yeah, so
Trickster.
Cameron Monaghan, which is the guy that plays Ian in Shameless. He's also the actor for Cal Kestis in Star Wars Fallen Order. Okay, so here's the thing. So Cameron Monaghan played the Joker in Gotham. But which was a really phenomenal role. They made so they kind of bounced off of that idea in the Arrowverse. But they made Mark Hamill a character called the Trickster.
Yes.
And they butchered the fuck out of that role. Like, I'm sorry, Mark Hamill is a phenomenal actor. They had a great opportunity with like the Trickster, and they fucking butchered it. So I can't see Mark Hamill as like a live action Joker. No way. I would rather see Willem Dafoe play the Joker in a live action movie.
That would actually be pretty sick.
That would be amazing. Just like we referenced The Lighthouse earlier, like that. He totally has the chops to play that level of crazy.
Oh yeah, and we know that he can play a villain because he played the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
But yeah, simply because of Trickster, I can't see him as like a new live action Joker. But that's just me.
So, who would you guys cast as Batgirl?
Oh man, I know the exact answer, and I'm blanking on her name right now. Also, in Heroes actress, she plays.
Is it
Claire.
Hayden Panettiere?
Yes, I would cast as Batgirl.
Hayden Panettiere.
I don't know why that name is like actually there.
They had the Trinity to save the world.
Most of the time, it would be.
I gotta go a different direction just because that's what my heart wants. I want Anne Hathaway. I think
Catwoman though.
Yeah,
she's already Catwoman.
Yeah,
but no, I don't think she has the chops for it.
No, not Anne Hathaway. Why the fuck was I thinking of Anne Hathaway? Jesus Christ, no, fucking Anna Kendrick. I don't know why I always get I always mix their names.
Actually, no. Anna Kendrick would be a better Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, that's just not fair though. Not to Anna Kendrick.
I would cast Florence Pugh. Did you guys see Midsummer?
Yeah, solid choice.
Main character
that would
from
be
Midsummer,
good.
I would put her as Batgirl.
Fucking A. That was
solid choices.
Ari Aster, man, he makes some insane fucking movies like Hereditary and holy shit, that movie! I'm still scared of clicking noises.
I saw a meme the other day that was like, wouldn't it be so nice to do dishes with this view? And it's the treehouse from Hereditary with the lights on inside it, like during the ritual.
That's not okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, that movie, The High Life, is also an A24 movie. It says the same studio that did The Lighthouse and I think Or the same
They
studio
also did Hereditary, didn't they?
Yeah, they did The Witch, Hereditary,
A24.
and I think they did Midsummer.
Yeah. A24 and Blumhouse or Blumhouse, however you say it, are really good for like indie horror movies that are actually good.
Mm-hmm. Now imagine if they put Teletubbies in that universe.
Live action Teletubbies.
I would fucking hate it.
I'd watch it.
Oh,
It'd be a horror movie.
Exactly.
Oh, Alex, you said you had some breaking news before we started the podcast.
oh yeah, that was Britney Spears. That was like that
okay.
just happened tonight.
Not that important.
But yeah.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else?
I do.
Could talk about The Mandalorian.
I'd rather not because I haven't seen all of season 2.
I haven't seen it either. I haven't
Yeah.
seen
No.
We can table that until everybody's caught up.
Let's talk about a certain actress from that show.
Oh yeah, cancel culture all over again. Yeah, let's do it.
Yep.
Yeah. So fill me in, because I live under a rock. So
yeah, and I don't have
she's been saying some dumb shit on Twitter, and it eventually pissed people off enough.
For clarity, we're talking about I don't remember the actress's name. Robbie?
Gina Carano.
Yes.
Yeah, MMA fighter, bitch.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. She said some pretty anti-Semitic stuff on Twitter, and people were kind of riled up about it. She's done a lot of stuff like denying whether or not COVID is real and like conspiracy theory shit. And finally, like, she said something anti-Semitic. Let me see if I can pull up that tweet. Now that I
basically, what she said was like she compared the plight of Jewish people in Nazi Germany to those of Republicans in current America.
You should have just kept your mouth shut.
Yeah, the problem I'm finding is I haven't seen the exact tweet.
I can read it for you.
I just found it. Okay.
Just for people who are listening that don't know.
Yeah, I've got it right here.
Verbatim. Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. Because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views?
It's a hot take, Alex.
There are a lot of problems that I'm finding already. A lot of problems. One, it's not her post. It's a screenshot of a screenshot of a screenshot of someone else's post. Two, the part where it says because history is edited, and from that point on is in quotations, which means it's a screenshot of a post of a quote that wasn't even written by the original person. So God knows where that quote came from. Also, like, I kind of get that it sounds hateful. Maybe it's just because I'm a normal white dude. I don't fucking know. But I'm trying to see the problem where she sounds like a racist piece of shit, or it sounds like she's trying to cancel someone, or it sounds like she's like hating against very specific people. What I'm getting at is, like, I get that everybody's upset, and I'm not knocking them for that. I'm trying to understand where she sounds like the bad guy, because she might only agree with specific points from this screenshot of a post with a quote in the middle of it. Like, that's not even her words verbatim. So where does she agree with it? What exactly did she say on that perspective, and where is it documented? That's my confusion.
I believe that a lot of it comes also from the context of the rest of her trash tweets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Regarding Black Lives Matter and COVID, where she says, quote, "In my experience, screaming at someone that they are a racist when they are indeed not a racist, and any post and or research you do will show those exact facts, then I'm sorry, these people are not educators, they are cowards and bullies." Followed by, "Dear trolls, psst," and it's a screen grab of the caption on the picture is "I'm glad you stopped following me," and it's a woman smoking a cigarette. I know the actress's name, and I'm losing it right now.
Yeah.
But like it is apparently pretty well documented by her Twitter history that she is a fascist and not ashamed of it. Like it's just
Yeah.
so out there.
Yeah.
See, now I'm seeing political tweets, which I don't really give a fuck about anybody's perspective, but like
True.
it's I can see where she's like very clearly, closed-minded. There is also, where was it? There was one specific thing that I just found. Okay, this is news to me, but apparently there was an instance where she was like transphobic, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't have any proof of that right in front of me, but instead of using trans-friendly pronouns, she updated her Twitter bio to say the words beep, bop, boop.
Yeah, like as it's become trendy to add your pronouns to the end of your handle, and when that happened,
which
she changed her handle to have.
Yeah, which
It's all
I'm
contextual,
completely yeah, which I'm completely for, and that shit I'm not okay with. So like that's the part where I'm like, okay, that I disagree with. So yeah, I'm gonna have to read more on this because like I don't know, it's the internet. It's too controversial to be mad at anybody.
To put it this way, I'm not all for cancel culture. I think a lot of it gets a little too out of hand. Just people are at the risk of sounding like a crazy person. I do think people can get a little too sensitive and too mob hungry. Immediately jump the gun and at people's throats.
Well, I'm offended
with that kind of thing, but I mean, at the same time, you're a public persona. You work for a company like Disney. If you have those views, you should keep them to yourself, not out in public like that. And nobody should feel bad for you if you lose your job for saying shit like that.
Yeah. I mean, it like on one hand, yeah, it's just like any other mega corporation $1 million bullshit. Like you work for a company, you represent it. On the other hand, I'll just go ahead and say it. I thought she was a fucking phenomenal actress, and I think she did a very kick-ass role in The Mandalorian. I thought it was great. Like, and that's just part of it.
Yeah, and I mean, John Lennon was a fantastic musician, but he also beat his wife. So I mean,
I disagree with that, but apples to oranges.
Yeah. It could be better.
Yeah. In kind of segueing actually into music, one of the other things I had to talk about was one of Apple's updates for this week.
So is it another U2 album?
No, actually, but finally, apparently people still use Spotify, and I'm sorry if you do.
You're wrong.
However, iOS 14.5 is finally adding Siri functionality to Spotify, and you can change your default music app. Finally. So if you I have a HomePod, so I'm not actually going to say it, but if you say, hey,
Siri,
SIRI, play whatever, play fucking Despacito, right? She will knock that music from Spotify and start playing it from your phone instead of porting it to Apple Music.
So I think that is a huge update. Like I use Spotify because I've always used Spotify, and I think that's where a lot of people find themselves who are still using Spotify is like, I have all these playlists, I have all my preferences. Like I don't want to mess that up and move to another app because it's really inconvenient. And as a musician, like I hate myself for that because I hate the concept of what Spotify does to music and makes it such a commodity and makes it so inherently socially valueless. Like that is frustrating to me as a musician. Like for just a peek behind the curtain a little bit, like we my band Delineate, when I just cashed in our royalties check from the last year, right? And we had something like 100,000 plays, $200 in a year.
Yeah.
And that's because a majority of our listeners are going to be on Spotify and iTunes. So that's where we get most of our plays. So I would say a good majority of that is on Spotify. And it's mind-boggling, but yeah, I mean, the main thing I think that update that you mentioned is going to change for me is that like the only songs that I have on my phone in the music app are the original masters for our last album. Like those are the only songs I have in my library, and they're not in order and they're not named correctly. But every time I get into my car, that album is the only one that is on my music app, and it starts to play that audio no matter what I do. Like I can't turn it off. So if I can make it so that instead of that happening, it just starts playing whatever playlist I was listening to last on Spotify, I'm 100% all for that, because that's something that I'm like interested in at the time and not something that I was part of making.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is Android's been doing that for years. Just saying.
I mean, photos look like shit though.
You can flex your Android all you want, but as long as your processor can't run all the functions that your phone's able to do, then you get like one good year out of an Android phone before the processor is too old to handle all the functions that the new operating
Snapchats
system
look like
has.
shit.
Yeah. Your Snapchats look like garbage, and you still don't have a all device compatible messaging system. But it's okay. You still don't have a 3090 either. So
in green text.
Yikes.
So for context for you, Tommy, the whole running joke is that Alex has been trying to get a 3090 for the last fucking few months. So every once in a while, you don't have this or a 3090.
Yeah.
Well, in the spirit of the joke,
I got a house.
Get that card.
Yeah. Well, which is why I mentioned that, you know, the 3080 Ti is coming out, so it's a more like consumer friendly option, but you know, still got to get a card.
So that whole segment there was just like a subtle dig at Alex.
I was actually really excited to talk about it. I mean, it's okay that you don't watch our episodes, Tommy. It's fine. I like talking about tech stuff on here. It's a chance that.
Oh no, I know that. I know that. I just mean that
cool.
like,
cool.
That tech segment was
just.
No.
That.
Since you can't get that 3090.
Oh no. That was just a fun dig. But I specifically brought that up because it's actually really exciting news for the market. But
I'm not attacking the credibility of your segment.
Speaking of not watching the episodes, Kyle didn't watch last week.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Kyle Tommy. All 14 episodes have been a subtle dig at me. Every single episode.
Yeah. It's been great.
Shut up, Robbie.
So I appreciate that, Tommy. Just so you know.
Yeah, you know, because he doesn't have the right card.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The other Apple thing that I wanted to talk about, though, is kind of disappointing, but it's also like, holy fuck. Apple is apparently releasing their own virtual reality headset. Wait for it, because this is where it gets weird.
Called the
so
IC.
Apple's got a VR headset. It models off of the Oculus, more or less. The headband actually looks a lot cooler though. It's all basically one piece. It's got the head strap on top and like a little divot that kind of looks like a baseball cap. But it all kind of like sits on your head flush. And yeah, prime example, except that strap that goes on the top of your head is a plastic piece that's all like connected. So it's all like a connected piece in Apple's VR headset. We're not sure exactly when, but it looks like it's getting launched in 2022. It's supposed to be kind of a niche VR headset, kind of like Alex not having a 3090 Ti. He also won't have an Apple VR headset. The price tag is rumored to be at $3,000.
Fuck you.
So it's one of those like,
fuck that.
You oh, you have an Oculus, you have an HTC Vive, I've got Apple. Because if they don't name it the eyesight, I'm going to fucking riot.
See, I would put
riot.
eyesight on what I saw is rumored to have come from some leaks from Apple about
the Apple glasses. Yeah.
Which that is going to change the game, dude.
Mm-hmm. Which
so, and not just
I kind of
because
want to get.
I would absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Are they like
my
Google
opportunity to be Cookie from Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, absolutely in a heartbeat I would take that chance.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
That's what I think. A lot of people would think of the glasses that Tony Stark gave Tom Holland, but
100%.
From Ned's Declassified, and I'm 100% about that. But I would think that Apple's VR headset would look a lot like Zenyatta from fucking.
Yeah, see, I thought it was going to be something
like Daft Punk helmet, just all white with like a line down the middle of it.
Yeah, see, I thought it was going to be that way too. I'll pop it into chat so you guys can see it. But the cool thing about it, and this is kind of why I'm excited about it. That's essentially like a render model that they're using or what they're basing it off of. I don't know VR headsets very well, but that's kind of what they're going for. With that said, it's supposed to have a 16K display. That's the thing. So it's definitely like Apple is table dicking everyone and saying, fuck you, we're Apple. But each lens is gonna have an 8K lens. Or an 8K display rather. So you're getting 16K total of resolution. So, knowing that it's Apple and knowing that it's going to be a dual 8K display, $3,000 is 100% understandable. Not that I'm going to buy one by any fucking means because no fucking way. But to understand that it's like it's one of those like unnecessarily luxury items.
A status symbol of a console.
Yes, a status symbol.
And so here's my thing. Like, if you're going to have two 8K lenses, right? How does your eye at that distance, how does your eye tell the difference between 4K and 8K?
It's the same thing.
There's gotta come a point. I was thinking about this earlier today about monitors. Like, there's got to come a point where, like, a monitor can refresh faster than the human eye could genuinely.
Yep, and I have had this discussion multiple times, and I love talking about it.
I know that there's a difference between a 60K and 120K. Like, absolutely, you can see that difference. But beyond, at a certain point, resolution and refresh rate has to go so high. Like, your human eyes could not possibly perceive it any more high definition than it actually is.
So I know the designated tech guru Alex will 100% agree with me on this. There's a difference between 60 hertz and 144 hertz. There's a difference between 144 hertz and 240 hertz. The difference between 240 hertz and 300 hertz is slim to none. The only reason that there's a difference is in a camera. So I believe it was Linus Tech Tips that actually did they used an 8K motion camera to capture the differences between displays. What's bonkers is I think it was a laptop that had a 300 hertz display on it. And there's no fucking point. Like, I was talking to one of my buddies about it who bought a 3090 at launch, like was lucky enough to get a 3090 at launch. And he's like, oh, they're making all these monitors with like a 300 hertz 8K display. And I'm like, dude, you're not going to notice a difference. Mainly because you don't do any movie work. You don't do any movie editing. You're not even doing photo editing. And like, we're not going to see 8K gaming for a while. But it's more the concept, like, it's kind of that like status symbol type. Like somebody like me or someone who actually has a degree and a certification for it in like movie editing and photo editing and things like that, like 8K resolution we can see because we know what we're looking for. But the average consumer,
there's any reason that, like, I'm not saying 8K. 8K is excessive, right? But I'm not saying that it's not valid. What I'm saying is at the distance that you need for a VR display,
Oh yeah,
when you're
for VR, there's no
far
fucking
away from your eyes,
Yeah.
it's not like you're going to be able to tell the difference between 4,000 pixels and 8,000 pixels. They're going to be so small and so close that it's not going to matter, right?
No,
May
and that's
notice a little less screen dooring, but
yeah, and that's kind of the comparison that I was making, is that, you know, for gamers that use monitors, or more specifically anybody that has a VR set, at that distance, there's no way you're going to notice a real difference. I mean, things are going to look more like crispy, I guess, but that's if you're going from like a normal headset to the Apple headset. Like,
yeah.
On top of that, like if you have an 8K display, right, or a 16K display, games are not at the point where they're releasing 16K resolution versions of their graphics. So no matter what, even if you do have that 16K, you're not getting your money's worth out of that display yet, because the technology to produce content for it is so limited and, for the most part, unavailable. I mean,
The textures just aren't there.
Files are so large that it would take longer to render the movie in 8K than it would to shoot the movie, you know?
Yeah. Yep. So that's another thing with like the, you know, the resolutions and all that stuff, is that with that 16K display, a lot of stuff isn't going to be compatible for it. So
it's going to make stuff that looks good look like shit.
What exactly what you're doing is you're creating a useless funnel. You are putting the game, let's say the game resolution is 2K. So you're taking that 2K and upscaling it to 8K twice to make 16K. Then you're downscaling it. You're doing all this unnecessary filtering just to say, I have an Apple VR headset. Like, congratulations.
Which is probably going to cause graphics issues.
Yep.
Like, and on top of that, like, since there's no content for it, there's, like I said, it's a waste of money for these extra pixels that you're not actually going to be able to see.
Yep. Let's just put it this way: it's overpriced trash from Apple once again.
I mean,
I
agreed.
got to agree with you on that one.
Yeah, for that one, yeah, 100%. It's, you know, it's not going to be good. But it's kind of like, you know, the average consumer only needs like 1080p resolution. You don't need more than that.
If you're vlogging,
yeah. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Resolution can look like.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
What else you guys got?
That's probably one of our longest episodes ever.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Look at the time.
we had an hour, 37 minutes, and 50 seconds.
Yeah.
Right on.
Well, we had a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys had to catch me up a lot.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's it then, right?
Yeah, it's
That's
been
episode 14.
Episode hosting. I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to the fridge.
For letting me come on and derail your planned discussions.
Robbie's the only one that caught that, and I'm perfectly okay with it.
Oh, I caught it.
Okay, cool.
I'll catch you later when the episode airs. I'll look back.
Okay. Well.
Okay. Anyway, with that out of the way.
All right.
Don't leave the door open, Eric.
Got it.
That was
don't kill the chief.
Leftovers at Midnight, episode 14. Bye.
Bye.